On our tour through Bullet Club history, we left off with the introduction of Matt and Nick Jackson of the tag team sensation the Young Bucks and the big man Doc Gallows. I'm Kevin Kelly, and this is The Recount. As 2014 unfolded, Bullet Club underwent an enormous transition under Prince Devitt, but not without growing pains. Wrestle Kingdom 8 saw mixed fortunes for Bullet Club. The Young Bucks retained the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships, while Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson took advantage of their World Tag League success and seized the Heavyweight Tag Team titles. It wasn't a good night for one member in particular. Beaten by long-standing rival Kota Ibushi, Prince Devitt lost the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship that he had held for 419 days, a reign only beaten by Jushin Thunder Liger in his sixth run. If there was a silver lining cushioning Devitt's loss, it was that he could now solely focus on the heavyweight division. That is until, shockingly, some unfinished business abruptly ended his New Japan career. Meanwhile, Ryusuke Taguchi returned from injury the night after Wrestle Kingdom and made it clear he was gunning for the real rock and roller.
この休んでる7ヶ月の間にいろいろ考えましたが、プリンスデビット一人に照準を絞って戦います。
Upset about the dissolution of Apollo 55 and the disrespect the Bullet Club had shown New Japan throughout the year, Taguchi decided to raise the stakes for Invasion Attack in Sumo Hall.
Goodbye to Taguchi this weekend. We're gonna put the bag on his fucking head and we're gonna pull the trigger.
Devitt was accompanied by the Young Bucks for his showdown with Taguchi, but prevented them from interfering.
Stay away.
Perhaps he felt the stakes were too high. Perhaps there was still a lingering fondness and respect for his former tag partner. Still, the Bucks had spent the last 6 months learning a key rule of Bullet Club. No individual is larger than the group.
Go home! Please go home! Young Bucks! Just wait, please!
The Bucks saw Devitt's ego as a threat, and for that, he paid the price.
金沢さん、といったヤングバックスがプリンス・デビットを制裁している。いやー、ヤングバックスボスであるディエンド出たー。新しい技ここで決めたー。
At the count of 3, Prince Devitt was gone. 1 year after Devitt had first sown the seeds of Bullet Club, he had been ousted from the company. There was little time for mourning, though. Not half an hour after Devitt lost to Taguchi, a tag match involving IWGP Heavyweight Champion Kazuchika Okada was disrupted by a hooded figure. The hood was pulled down to reveal AJ Styles.
No, still young boy. I want this title, and I will have this title, because now I have the ammunition.
Just as Devitt had made it a priority to target New Japan's top dog in 2013 in Hiroshi Tanahashi, Styles had gone straight to the top by attacking Okada. The young impetuous champion would grant Styles a title shot in Fukuoka at DONTAKU, a year to the day in the exact place that the Bullet Club had officially been formed. Styles alone was more than a match for Okada, but Styles, with an insurance policy, proved to be plain unfair. Capitalizing on the referee being distracted by charging Bullet Club members, Yujiro Takahashi blasted the reigning champion with a lariat and Tokyo Pimps. The defecting Chaos member stabbed his leader in the back to become BC's first Japanese member. After all was said and done, however, the headline was a Styles clash and a new IWGP Heavyweight Champion. Bullet Club could have easily fallen into disarray when Devitt departed, but instead it rallied together with Styles as its standard bearer. This was a crew that stood solid and united. According to Bad Luck Fale, it took AJ winning the title to win over the club.
Happy birthday to the Bullet Club!
New Japan fans who hadn't seen Styles outside of some special guest appearances years prior were amazed by the phenomenal one. Although he wasn't able to win the G1 Climax in his debut year, his performances were the talk of the wrestling world. Going toe-to-toe with the likes of Minoru Suzuki and coming out on top made the fans respect Styles and Bullet Club by association, however grudgingly. Meanwhile, Styles and the Young Bucks' global popularity, coupled with New Japan's rapid growth both in Japan and overseas, brewed a perfect storm that saw the club become pop culture icons. Bullet Club t-shirts became standard wear at live wrestling events regardless of country and promotion. Even when they resorted to underhanded tactics, there was respect for the group and its top star. The calendar rolled into 2015 to the thundering energy of Wrestle Kingdom 9. Styles wasted no time making the new year count as he laid claim to the IWGP Heavyweight Championship once again by defeating Tetsuya Naito. A month later, the new beginning in Osaka ended with a bloody Tanahashi laying on the mat and Styles standing tall as a two-time champion. Bullet Club had never looked so dominant.
You're staring at the greatest faction in professional wrestling in the last 20 years. The kings of tag team wrestling, the Young Bucks, Bad Luck, Fale, Yujiro, Takahashi, Tama, Tonga, Cody Hall, Doc Gallows, Machine Gun, Torgerson.
On that long list of BC forces not to reckon with was Kenny Omega. He was familiar to New Japan fans as a bright and charismatic figure with a death-defying style and amazing athleticism. In New Japan, he had impressive runs in the Best of the Super Juniors, but impressed the most when teaming with Kota Ibushi. The Golden Lovers seemed to have a bond stronger than any other tag team could claim to have, and appropriately enough, would share Tokyo Sports Match of the Year honors in 2010 for their tag bout against Apollo 55. Yet the Kenny Omega introduced to New Japan in November 2014 was a very different man.
I present to you the cleaner, Kenny Omega!
Gone was the bleached blonde hair and bright gear, and in was black leather, round shades, and silver curls. Gone was the Golden Lover, and in was the cleaner.
Taguchi, I want that championship belt, Buster. I am here to clean up the junior division.
Omega captured the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship at Wrestle Kingdom 9 with every tool at his disposal, including the medical trainer's cold spray. Omega seemed devoid of any redeeming qualities as a human being. He was a demented, almost psychotic figure who had lost all sense of his humanity, or so it seemed. Fate had kept Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi separated for months, as Omega entered New Japan a junior heavyweight, while Ibushi had moved up to the heavyweights. But when Ibushi got on a hot streak at the start of 2015, he won the New Japan Cup and put himself on a collision course with the IWGP Heavyweight Champion AJ Styles. Styles and Ibushi put on a clinic that only two wrestlers of their caliber could. As Ryogoku reached a fever pitch, it seemed that Styles' title had never been in more danger. Ibushi headed to the top rope, poised to deliver a Phoenix Splash. Omega at ringside, doubtless with the mantra of "for the good of the club" in mind, hopped up on the apron but couldn't go through with physically interfering. Nevertheless, the momentary distraction would give enough time for Styles to recover. And to the tune of a Styles Clash, the champ retained. As all of Bullet Club celebrated in the ring, one member remained conflicted. AJ Styles sat on top of the world. There was, however, just the barest hint that the world was about to change. Follow along while we continue retracing the history of Bullet Club by subscribing here on YouTube. And don't forget to sign up at NJPWworld.com to explore all of these exciting matches in full.